Today on Heavy Metal Frequency, I'm reviewing Steven Wilson's 2017 album, To the Bone. I saw him on the To the Bone tour. It was one of my favorite concerts ever. It was an evening with tour, and he played for basically 3 hours. It was an intermission, and so it was about 3 hours. I think he played for about 2 hours and 45 minutes, roughly, plus a 15-minute intermission, something like that. So this is not a metal album. Oh, God. And a couple of the albums that I'm going to do after this are not metal albums either. And this is an oversimplification, but this is like a progressive pop album. It's like Steven Wilson's version of a progressive pop album, and it starts off with To the Bone, and it has some funk to it. It's pop music that's really catchy, and it's really complex and atmospheric, and it does have some elements of things like rock, metal, and funk to it. And this was during Wilson's period when Porcupine Tree was disbanded, and he kept saying he was never going to reform Porcupine Tree again. At one point when I saw him, he said, "Stop asking me to do Porcupine Tree again. I'm not going to do Porcupine Tree anymore." And it turned out it was because, and yeah, they reformed, but it turned out it was because he felt like it was becoming too much of a metal project. Ironic for this channel, but it was slowly turning into a progressive metal band and something along that line. And so he did a solo project. And so as far as the album goes, To the Bone is a really great opener. It has some funk guitar to it that's really cool. Because this is a pop album, it is vocal heavy, but it has some really excellent guitar solos. The solos on To the Bone are fantastic. Nowhere Now is really, really cool. The atmospheric qualities with the keyboards and Steven's vocals and the piano and everything are amazing. It's fantastic. And it adds a lot of depth to the album. That's one of the reasons it's taken a while, just going over all the different elements and qualities of this. The Same Asylum as before is another, like, it has like a twangy Fender Telecaster vibe to it. It's really, really interesting, and it has some Steven doing some falsetto. It's like a prog rock pop song with a Telecaster. It has some jazz to it. It's really, really cool. Permeating is almost like a Bollywood, I call it his Bollywood song, and it reminds me of like a hybrid of Paul McCartney and Elton John, and it's really, 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 really cool. Fantastic song. What else? Blank Tapes is a breakup song. It's like a existentialist Inui a teenager breakup song. I would look at this, that's how I would look at it, and it's called Blank Tapes, and it's a really short, little delicate, like breakup song type thing. People Who Eat Darkness is about terrorism, and it's a harder song on here, and he has some interesting vocals on here. And it's a really catchy song. It has an awesome solo. It has one of my favorite solos he's ever done on here. Let's see what else. Detonation is a really long song. I think it's about 9 minutes, and it's really, really cool, and has a lot of atmosphere, like a lot of stuff on here. Song of Unborn is amazing. It's one of my favorite songs on here. It's one of the standout tracks, along with To the Bone, Permeating, People Who Eat Darkness, Same Asylum as before, stuff like that. Everything on here is a standout track, but, and yeah, I know I just corrected myself, but I don't care. It's this fantastic album. And so Song of Unborn is really kind of eerie if you listen to it, and that's one I suggest you really go over this again, like with most prog albums, and this is a prog pop album as opposed to like a prog rock or prog metal album. And so you still have to really go over this, maybe more so because this is kind of principally a vocal heavy album like pop music. That's my interpretation of this. You can look at this however you want to. And so Song of Unborn is really poignant for right now, and I suggest you really pay attention to that one as well, and just go over this album with a fine-tooth comb, read the lyrics. It's fantastic. And some other stuff really quickly before I end this. Please pick up a copy of this. I love it. Listen to some of Steven's other stuff. I suggest you start here, specifically here with Steven Wilson, if you've never heard his music before. And if you want to go something heavier, some later, Porcupine Tree, if you want to do something really, really light, go to Blackfield. Blackfield's just as amazing as everything else he's done. If you want something a little bit dancier or something like in like an 80s fashion, do No Man. Thank you. Goodbye.